you're already a writer and you're trying to incorporate more travel into your whole model, I have someone who is a travel writer. She's my friend. So we are going to talk to her and steal all her secrets. This is my friend Meagan Drillinger, and she's a travel writer. I thought she would be ideal to share with you guys some of the things that you've done in the past to make it happen. Aside from being a travel writer, Meagan organizes entrepreneurial retreats for women, correct?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Vaera Journeys.
So Vaera Journeys is basically just that. It's an entrepreneurial retreat for women who want to start their own businesses or take their businesses or personal brands to the next level. And Andrea was nice enough to join my first retreat, and that's how we became friends.
Yeah. Only 2 months later, we are back together again, also in Mexico, but this time in Isla Mujeres. Oh, sí. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. First, tell us a little bit. If someone wants to start from scratch, what should they do?
I had more samples of my style of writing.
There you go.
The magazine that I wrote for was a little bit more professional, and I'm a little more carefree, and I like to do things that are off the beaten path. So that's what I used my blog for.
So a blog is a good way to show your personality in your writing.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes when you write for a publication, they might have a certain way in which they do things, which might be kind of like too professional or too corporate for what you want to do for yourself. So have a blog on the side. That would help, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you've already started a blog. What is something that you should do next?
You get yourself on some mailing lists, and people will send out calls for pitches all the time. There's a great email serve call.
Mailing list for like who?
Well, PR people is a good place to start, because they're the ones that are sending out the products that they want reviewed or the hotels that they want reviewed. So you'll kind of know what's new and hot in the travel market, and that way when you go to talk to editors, you can say, I heard about so-and-so, it's really hot right now. Here's an example of my writing on my blog. Can I interest you in an article on this?
Nice. And how would you find this mailing list or this PR people?
You can find out some of the big PR companies are in America or in your city or in the world, and if you go to their website, they usually have a subscribe to our mailing list section. There are also some websites, for example, PitchWiz is one, where editors will call out to writers saying what they're looking for. So if you can get yourself on a list like that, you'll know kind of what's going on in the conversation.
How about those hacks, people? All right, cool. So those are some good tips if you haven't really started. But what if you've already started and you need to get ahead a little bit more? What is something you can do then?
Networking is huge.
Yeah.
Meeting people. I know people say it time and time again and it sounds super cheesy, but networking, it's really about who you know. So you can go to certain travel groups in your area. There are travel massive meetups. There are groups called Young Travel Professionals.
Where are these groups?
They have chapters all over the country and some of them all over the world.
Okay.
Young Travel Professionals is another one, and they host in-person get-togethers monthly.
One thing that you have to do is pitch travel editors. Tell us about that, because I have no idea.
Well, travel editors get a ton of pitches. You can imagine everybody out there kind of does want to write about travel. So to get yourself a little ahead, you can research the specific publication that you're pitching for. Make sure that what you were talking about has not been covered before, because if they've already covered it, they're going to know you're not reading their publication. So you want to show that you really know what's going on. Have some sort of catchy subject line, like maybe a question, or maybe I just experienced TKTK, want to know more. Then make sure you get the editor's name right, because you cannot imagine how many times that happens. Give one sentence about who you are, a couple sentences about what you want to write about, and then do a link to your blog, or if you've written somewhere else before, say you can find examples of my writing here.
By the way, I think I didn't mention it because sometimes I'm a terrible human like that, and I didn't even give a full recap of what you do, and I think it's really cool to know the publications that you write for.
Sure. So I'm the Mexico editor for a magazine called Travel Weekly, which is a trade magazine. It only goes to travel agents in the United States, but then I also write about travel for Thrillist, the website. I write about dating for menshealth.com. I write about health and wellness for healthyway.com.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been in travel and leisure, a bunch of other stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another thing that people would love to start doing is press trips.
Okay.
How does one land their first press trip?
Well, when I was talking about getting on the PR people's mailing list, that's a great way because you'll know when the invitations are going out to hotels, destinations, events. You'll be on that mailing list. Then what you'll have to do is you're going to have to get the trip approved by an editor because PR people don't want just anyone coming on the trip who's going to get a free trip and then not write anything about it. So that's when having your editor contacts will come in handy. Another way you can do it is you can go through the editors first. Let's say you have a fantastic idea about a bunch of new hotels opening up in a place that nobody's ever heard of before. Go to your editor, get that idea approved, and then work with the PR people who represent the destination, and that's how you can get your free hotel hookups.
So I think that there's a lot of good information covered that will get you started in the travel writing industry if that's what you want to do. Now, just for you to get a little bit more motivation, tell us some of the things and experiences and trips you've had in the past few years that you've gone for work.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I went to one of the best hotels I ever stayed at was on this tiny island off of the coast of Phuket in Thailand called Yao Noi, and there's a resort there called the Six Senses Yao Noi. They have an infinity pool that looks like glass and it reflects the sky and the Andaman Sea below, and you have those limestone cliffs in the background.
I haven't been.
They open the pool every morning for sunrise and the sky explodes in pinks and purples.
Wait, can't you just tell that she's a writer? Like, she couldn't just say like there was a cool pool. No. She's over here going full, like, she's going in on this description. Yes. Okay, give us another experience.
I went camping in Inner Mongolia, which is one of the northern provinces of China by the oldest section of the Great Wall.
And what were you writing about for that time?
I was writing about these off the beaten path places in China.
For who?
For Travel. A different magazine, a different travel magazine that I used to work for.
Okay, cool. Nice. And give us one more.
Oh my gosh. Well, anytime I come to Mexico, I get to live in Mexico 4 months out of the year because of my job. So I don't want to be in New York where it's cold during the winter, and because I write about Mexico, I get to live here for 4 months out of the year.
I mean, hello.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
If you really liked this video, like it. Please subscribe so that you can see more content like this. And that's all I got for you today. Ciao from Isla Mujeres. Bye-bye.